The regular meeting of the Board of Education of the San Francisco Unified School District for January 27th, 2015 is now called to order. Ms. Casco, roll call, please.
Thank you. Ms. Fewer?
I'm here, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Haney?
Here.
Ms. Mendoza-McDonald? Ms. Norton?
Here.
Ms. Wins?
Here.
Mr. Walton?
Here.
Dr. Marassi?
Present.
Ms. Sanada?
Here.
And Mr. Chan?
Here.
Thank you.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. We are now on approval of board minutes of the regular meeting of January 13th, 2015. May I have a motion and a second?
Move recommend adoption of the minute.
Thank you. Any corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, Ms. Casco, roll call, please.
Thank you. Ms. Sanada?
Yes.
Mr. Chan?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Fewer?
Yes.
Mr. Haney?
Yes.
Ms. Mendoza-McDonald? Ms. Norton?
Yes.
Ms. Wins?
Aye.
Mr. Walton?
Aye.
And Dr. Marassi?
Aye.
That's 6 ayes.
Thank you. Before I call the next item, I'd like to remind members of the public that if they wish to address the Board of Education, you can complete a speaker card prior to the item being called and present it to Executive Assistant Ms. Casco. According to board rules and procedures, speaker cards will not be accepted for an item already before the board. So please get your cards in. The next item B is presentations to the Board of Education. I'd like to call on Superintendent Carranza.
Thank you, President Murase. Good evening, everyone. Buenas noches. So yesterday, I had the great honor of convening with Mayor Ed Lee and our CEO of the San Francisco Foundation, Fred Blackwell, to host a local action summit on men and boys of color. In San Francisco, we've actually said these are our children of color, which was launched by the city and the San Francisco Unified School District in answer to President Obama's My Brother's Keeper Community Challenge. At the summit, we defined what My Brother's Keeper will be for us as a diverse set of stakeholders in San Francisco, and we provided a clear understanding of the data-driven strategies that we will undertake while understanding the need for alignment. We also took our first steps with a call to action to work collaboratively across the aligned areas. I'm very, very happy to report that a group of over 100 stakeholders heard from Supervisor Malia Cohen and from Mayor Lee, from Mr. Blackwell and myself, and we had an opportunity to also participate in a series of interactive TED Talks, conversations that were built around systemic life course challenges for young men and boys and young girls of color. We participated in breakout sessions and discussed our next steps. And what I'd like to share with the community is that this is not just a reaction to President Obama's call. This is a systemic initiative in our district that we are very, very committed to, and that we are working hard with our city partners and in conjunction with our city family to make a reality. So look forward to sharing more results with the community and more information with the community. In that regard, this evening, ladies and gentlemen, as part of our commitment to this endeavor, we conducted a national search and made a commitment, and this Board of Education has been unequivocal in our commitment to close the achievement gap. And after a national search, I'm very proud to say that we have hired a special assistant for African American achievement and leadership who will report directly to the superintendent of schools around this very important initiative. And I'm very happy this evening to introduce him to our community. His name is Landon Dickey, and I'm even more proud to say that Landon is a graduate, a product of the San Francisco Unified School District, where he was a student at Lakeshore Elementary School, AP Giannini, and he's a graduate of Lowell High School, and he's gone on to receive a bachelor's degree at Harvard College. He's also a graduate of the Harvard Business School. He's worked as a special education teacher in the Bronx, and he's decided to come back home to work with our community here. So I'd like to ask Mr. Dickey to please rise so everybody can see him. And would you please join me in welcoming him to SFUSC? I'm so proud to say he's one of our own, and we're so proud of the work that he is going to lead and help us lead here. We sent a press release out today, and we will be scheduling opportunities for the community to meet Mr. Dickey and to also interact with us. So welcome aboard, Mr. Dickey. We're very proud to have you with us. I'd also like to mention...
My name's John Templeton. Would like to let you know about the 5th annual Come to the Water Teaching California Black History 7-week course that we begin Thursday at the Corrette Auditorium, San Francisco Public Library. This was inspired by 3 years of professional development that we did with teaching American history back in 2006-2008. And we did a research study that posed the question of whether California social science teachers were prepared to teach culturally responsive instruction in African American history, and we found that only 20% were.
Elementary school and a graduate of elementary school, which is currently going to Lowell High. And my wife's also...
The announcement of the upcoming events. Next speaker, please.
Good evening. My name is Derek Tolliver, and I'm the CEO and Executive Director of Plan of Action for Challenging Times Incorporated, also known as PACT Educational Opportunities Clearinghouse. And I want to make sure that I had an opportunity to address this auspicious group of leaders in the field of education and make sure that I let you know that PACT has been around since 1963, and in 1965 we became one of the first members, grantees for the TRIO, federally funded TRIO Talent Search Program. And over the past 50 years, we've educated San Francisco students to the tune of over 65,000 students that we've exposed to college. And of those 65,000, over 40,000 have been admitted to college, and over 24,000 college degrees have been earned by PACT students. And believe it or not, I wasn't invited to the meeting that the superintendent just attended yesterday regarding African American male achievement. So I want to make sure that because we're very quiet, we just do our work. And we serve 2,000 San Francisco Unified School District students every year. And no one knows who we are because we're participating in a federally funded program. So I want to make sure that I put that out there. Please use us. Please engage us. We're very successful, probably the most successful educational organization in the city and county of San Francisco, and nobody knows who we are. And that's why I'm here. Derek Tolliver, PACT stands for Plan of Action for Challenging Times, and don't we need that? And we're doing the work, 24,000 college degrees behind our name, 50 years of service. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tolliver. If you could hang on for just a moment. I know that yesterday's event was just the beginning of our initiative, and I'd like to invite Superintendent Carranza to respond.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Tolliver. So, Mr. Tolliver, please meet Mr. Dickey. Mr. Dickey, please meet Mr. Tolliver. Mr. Templeton, please meet Mr. Dickey. Mr. Dickey, meet Mr. Templeton. We'll make sure that you're at the table, sir. Thank you.
Final call.